I started off this game 0-7, and I am now 18-7.
Paul claims he's having a career game.
I can take a screenshot, Brad.
Yeah, you know, some things are left better to the imagination.
Say the word. I'll narrate it like it's a sporting event. No.
Yep. You know, you could stream it on Mixer and be one of the 2%.
You know, I feel like I've been one of the 2% too much in my life, and not the good 2% either.
Oh, man. Which version of
that was up.
Call of Duty? What version?
Black Ops 4. Yeah. I actually tried just to go in and play Modern Warfare 2, like the original version, and it's weird. Like they have what they call team deathmatch, but it's like basically any, like it could be any game type. But you know, you see some of the maps come up, and you're like, oh right, I completely forgot about that one. That's awesome. I want to see all these maps. I wish I could play modern Call of Duty on, you know, against all, like the whole collection of maps. It'd be so excellent. There he is.
What'd you?
High score. Final 24-9.
Wow.
So.
Congrats.
6-7.
I'm glad we could share this moment.
Also got the kill cam thing. That's nice. At the end, you know, a little accolade at the end of the game.
I would really rip on you for being really proud of yourself, but like when I win a game, like I will literally take a photo of it and then like tweet it.
Yep.
Like
yeah, no, I've done that. Yeah. Well, of course, you play a game where it's actually pretty incredible when you win. I mean,
so good. Well, I'm happy for you in these trying times.
yes, it's a little victories that make the daily boredom less tedious.
Yeah, the highlight of my day is going to be cutting the grass after this. That's
so. This is like a weird thing, but we have a guy cut our lawn because our lawn is humongous, and he was like, he comes to the door and he goes, "I got to tell you guys, like, you have the greenest lawn of all of my, like, for some reason." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because the dog is just going to the bathroom all over it every day, like." And it is, but then I went for a walk yesterday. I came back. It looks like a golf course. Like it's pristine. I don't know why.
Happy Friday, compadres. It is Friday after all, but it kind of feels like every other day of the week because
yeah,
everybody's home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This morning at 10 and 9, I went upstairs, kind of cleaned myself up. Got down here and sat in front of the computer and waited for Brad to call. And that's the problem with all these days, just blending into each other because it's Friday and you don't call till 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, anyways, here we are at the 1 p.m. hour Eastern time zone.
Yep.
Just hanging out. But I actually already titled this one, which is, I do anyways. Okay. But I call it Nothing Surprises Anymore, which I think is appropriate because Apple is apparently going to announce an iPhone. Yeah. Not all that surprising. iPhone SE 2 or 3 or what are we on now?
Just technically it's 3, but they're just going to call it SE as they do sometimes. Yeah. Apparently, according to a report. But and it's an iPhone 8 with new innards. So it'll have it's iPhone 8 body. It works with all the cases and stuff. It has touch ID instead of Face ID. You know, so the bezels instead of a notch. And then, you know, but it's going to have the A13, so it's the same processor as the iPhone 11 series. So honestly, this sounds like a good deal to me. $400 for the 64 gig version. They're going to have 128 and 256 options.
That's not
Google.
Bad, actually.
No, it's not bad at all. And I think this part of the market is very interesting. Suddenly, again, I guess maybe Pixel or Google will have a Pixel 4a that's going to be in the same area. The OnePlus phones kind of fall into this area as well. They're a little more expensive, but they also have flagship specs in them and beautiful screens and decent cameras and everything. I mean, and I'm revisiting the iPhone. I don't know if we ever talked about that, but when I switched to Mint Mobile, I've been using the iPhone since then. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's good.
Yeah.
But I was looking at other phones, and this is a OnePlus 7T, the one that came out last fall. And this thing is like, it's so thin and light, and it's got a 90 hertz screen, and I like the stuff about this to really like. And whatever. So I think what Apple's doing is great. I think that's going to help a lot of people.
I think I think the big downside of that one will obviously be the camera. Will probably be pretty smudgy. Yeah,
right. It probably will be the iPhone 8 camera, I guess. I don't know that part of it, but it'll be a single lens, whatever.
Still though, for 400 bones, that's
I know. And if you have my daughter might be on an iPhone 6 something. I think my son has an iPhone 8. Unfortunately, she likes the bigger phone, but I don't think they're doing a Plus or Pro, whatever they call those things. But I don't know. $400 for a brand new phone, and that'll be good to go for years to come. That's all very modern inside, so that's nice.
Yeah. So this is way random, extreme random, not intended. But so I'm getting a little concerned here. This is very, very self-inflicted. I don't know, self-inflicted, whatever.
Okay.
At some point, I'm going to need a haircut. And
yeah, I know. I've been thinking the same thing. Like, you are totally going to need a haircut. No, I mean, we all are.
Yeah, no, like I definitely am. And like my wife and I have joked that my barber is like, it's like a classic barber shop. Like everybody in there, the barbers are all over like 70 years old. And at some point, it's not. He's probably might even be 80, to be honest.
Yep.
Whatever. My wife and I always just said, hey, when he whatever, she'll just start cut my hair.
Well, maybe your wife could do it.
I mean, there's nothing special about going on up here. So.
Yeah, but you say that, but then if it's not cut correctly,
right? Like if it's like butchered, you can tell when my wife and I are fighting because like if I like this divots. Side like buzz and like this side like.
Right? Did she carve the name of your daughter into your head? What?
Just says take out the trash on this side.
Right. I'm with dummy, and it points down. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyways, that's your random aside for the day. But I was looking at like the camera and I was like, wait a minute, this is.
Yeah, it's going to be an issue for everyone. I mean,
because we're looking at least another month, I think, at minimum.
Oh yeah, no, I need a haircut now.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, I
my wife can probably hear me talking right now. She was on a meeting, but she knows that this has been whatever. Although I will say that Ohio, knock on wood, has been doing fairly well. We're pretty low on the cases, although there are some nearby, but it's not like a New York situation. So,
no, I mean, we're in a fairly rural area, but we also are right on top of two major and honestly really high quality hospital or healthcare networks.
Yeah.
There's right out, if you head out to the highway on Route 78, there's a humongous hospital complex there. That's the group I'm part of. And then there's also like St. Luke's, but they're all over the valley. And so it's kind of good and bad, right? So there's great care here. But for those places that maybe don't have that same level of care, I guess they would be coming here. I don't know.
But if you do need great care, Amazon is announcing a new game streaming service. They announced yesterday. It was like a New York Times like sort of write-up thing where they do an interview. It's a scoop, but it's not really because Amazon went to them and said, here's this thing. It's launching next month. It looks like it was originally supposed to launch earlier, but for obvious reasons, it hasn't launched yet. And so it looks like it's coming next month, and it's going to be tied closely to Twitch. 0.0% surprise there.
I didn't look at this story because I'm of the opinion we don't need any more of these things. But is this specifically for mobile, or is it across?
No, I think it's like an xCloud Stadia type thing.
Oh, very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they are one of the companies that could do it.
Yeah. I mean,
so
Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, that's who can do it.
And what better time to take up valuable infrastructure right now than during the coronavirus?
I'm just waiting for IBM to announce one.
Yeah, exactly.
like called that Watson Senior or something dumb. I don't know what they would even call it.
Java or some NetBeans or something.
NetBeans.
Slack.gaming.
Ah, honey, I just got killed in NetBeans. This is
Exactly.
where did you come up with NetBeans?
I don't know. It's just...
Anyway, so that's coming. That'll be interesting next month. There was also a report out. I forgot to grab all the stats, but so what it boils down to is Mixer's not doing well. That's right.
Right.
It was. Let me see if I can pull it up here really quick. But it effectively worked out to that. I think it was of all the hours of streaming gaming produced, I believe Mixer created, based on this company's estimates, was like 17% of the market of
That's
total.
actually more than I thought you were going to say.
Hold on. That's how many. Like if there's 100 hours produced, Microsoft's platforms created 17. Now the viewership, the actual viewership. Of people watching it, Microsoft only had 2% of the market. So they were creating a lot, and nobody's coming to the party.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
So I don't know when it was last fall. One of the famous streamers, switched.
Oh, there's a couple of them now. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but then then it escalated. And you and I had questioned whether this made financial sense, and I guess it's like bringing a big sports hero to your favorite team locally and spending a lot of money on them, and maybe it does make sense. And so I don't know. It's probably only been 6-8 months, something like that.
So here are the stats according to Streamlabs, which again it's hard to verify their information, but they seem to be relatively reputable, and even if they're not perfectly right, but they're broadly accurate, it still gives you an idea. So total hours streamed, like I said, Mixer was at 17%, Twitch was at 72%. Now, for hours watched, Twitch had 65% of the market, Mixer had 2%, Facebook had 11%.
What?
And then YouTube
had 20%. Where's YouTube?
YouTube was at 22%.
I would have thought YouTube was doing a little better versus Twitch than not.
Yeah. So there's no real way to slice it. And like Microsoft spending this money, and they are according to this, again, they are in a distant fourth for eyeballs.
Right.
So they're actually kind of like a rounding error for Twitch. Jesus, my kid just dropped something right above me.
That I did hear, actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll reference like a sound in the house, and I don't usually hear it, but that one I did hear.
I'm sure if you rewind that clock, you'll probably see me flinch a little, because that was
like something's coming through the floor.
Yeah, Jesus! Like all I asked her to do was just like not move off the carpet. Like we have an area rug, and very clearly I could tell that she dropped whatever it was directly onto the hardwood floor. That's great.
Yeah, it sounded like it was one of those like a Lego set of the entire like Star Destroyer or something. It's just
speaking of Star Destroyer. This is a perfect segue. So I watched a Star Wars yesterday.
Okay.
So people who are very into Star Wars, please just turn it off now, because I am.
I can't turn it off, Brad. I'm on the show.
The reason I turned this on was because I was like flicking through, and it's 4K. It's Dolby Atmos. I'm like, this is the sweet spot for my setup. I can't watch the Masters. I'm going to watch this. So I watched it. It seemed good. Like I enjoyed it.
Which one was it? You must have seen the new one.
Well, is the new one The Last Jedi?
No, no. The new one is The Rise of Skywalker, and honestly,
okay,
The Last Jedi is the middle part of the current trilogy, the new trilogy.
So did I watch that out of order? Wait, where does Rogue One fall into this?
So Rogue One is a one-off movie that takes place right before the original Star Wars, which is Episode 4. So it actually sets up that movie, and it does it like 30 years or whatever that was later, 35 years later, in a way that is so fantastic. Like when that movie ends, you see how the little ship escapes from the Empire, and then
we actually watched that together in Vegas, if you remember.
Yes, like that's a great movie. Yeah. So I actually, honestly, the one you watched, which is the middle part of the trilogy, so a lot of people really kind of crapped on it, and I certainly had my issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
It is the superior movie of that trilogy. It's the best one, and it is much better than the new one.
Is the new one on Disney Plus yet?
It might not be because it's brand new.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to buy it, but
yeah.
So then what's the one before?
The Force Awakens.
Have I seen that one?
So the new trilogy is Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and then Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker? I think that's the name. Rise of Skywalker. I think so.
Something like that. I keep wondering why I have a map of Allentown to Cincinnati open. I should probably... Anyways, so yeah, I watched it last night. Actually, I watched it. Yeah. It's a long movie.
It is, yeah.
Because I watched like 90 minutes of it, and then my wife's like screaming at me to come help with dinner. And I was like, what do you mean? And then I looked, it was like halfway done or something crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's some good sequences in there. And that whole, the woman driving the spaceship into the other spaceship, and then the,
spoiler,
the battle on that salt planet or whatever that is.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I watched the whole thing in a day, so it wasn't that bad. So I'll wait for that. So what one do I need to go watch that was before it?
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. So
Force Awakens is just sets up the new characters, and it's basically a remake of the original Star Wars.
I can't remember if I've seen that one too. How does it? Well, and what is it about? I mean, it's like I don't want you to say, because then if I haven't seen
you meet all the characters. So Rey is a scavenger living on a desert planet that for some reason is not Tatooine, and Finn is a stormtrooper who helps the other guy escape because he wants not to be a stormtrooper. And
I might have seen this.
Okay, whatever his name is, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But Han Solo's in it. Chewie.
Yeah, well, Chewie was in this last one too.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. So I watched that. I will see if the other one is on, whatever. And then, well, I mean, I'm going to have some time, I think. Although it is beautiful outside. But you can't, like, what am I going to go do out there and just...
I went for a walk yesterday afternoon, and with the exception of one woman who I saw very soon after I left the house.
Was it the woman?
No. I didn't see... No, it wasn't. That would be funny. I didn't see another human being the entire time. Like 45-minute walk. Like, it was weird. It was like the world was empty. Like, it was like usually in my neighborhood, because of what's happened, everyone's home. So if anything, there are more people out. I mean, there's families out walking around with dogs and little, kids on little bikes and stuff. And usually there's more of it. I don't know, maybe because it was late in the day or something. I don't know. Yeah,
I need to look at the other movies that are available that are in 4K, Dolby Atmos 5.1 or whatever the hell it is on there, because it was nice.
You might want to just go back and start with Rogue One, watch that again, and then now that you have that handoff, then go watch Star Wars, because especially the beginning when the ship escapes and then you just see Darth Vader standing there. It's kind of excellent, and then the first one starts with little ship, and then the big one firing at it and stuff. It's really neat the way they did that.
Yeah.
And it's a good movie.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's what I did yesterday after evening-ish hour. And we'll just keep plowing through because there's no end in sight.
Yeah, what are you going to
do? That's the thing. Like, I need to go to Home Depot, but I don't want to go to Home Depot, but I need to get a handrail. That's like the last thing in the basement is like you just put the handrail coming into the basement. But
I think because my wife is a better person than I am, she hasn't called me on this, but like literally 5 out of the past 6 days, I've announced for some reason, I feel like the need to make these proclamations. I'm going to go down into the basement today and I'm going to start going through all those boxes. And then that doesn't happen. Like I haven't done it. I did go through the stuff in my office. So I did. And actually you probably can see a little bit of up here, kind of a little pile of crap up in the corner. You can see this is the start of it there at the corner. That's stuff I'm going to reconcile, like a giveaway, sell something, get rid of it, whatever it is. But, I got to go through the cellar, and I know what I'm going to come up with is a pile of laptops. Yeah. Old laptops, like really not particularly good laptops anymore, but certainly would be useful for like a, like a church, charity, whatever, something,
I will, because you mentioned this right before the show, so people watching it live probably already know this, but can you explain to the viewers at home what you did to fix your internet there, Paul, and how, are we going to get to a permanent solution here?
Well,
take it away.
You and I had this discussion, and I don't remember if it was public or private, but let me step back from that. I'm sorry. So as everyone knows, I think I'm going to at some point put Ethernet in here. You'd think this would be a tremendous time to do it.
Mm.
But I wanted to see if this would fix I was doing that mostly for Xbox, honestly. But I mean, obviously, I'll put a switch in here and put everything on the wire. Why wouldn't I? But then I was like, well, just get an Ethernet cable and see if it fixes the problems. You know,
Yeah.
I could test the Xbox, which I haven't done, and I could test. You and I have had this connectivity problem, and it's kind of weird because, as you know, I record podcasts with Leo every week, and the one we did this week was like 2.5 hours long. I record one with Andrew, and I never have issues like you and I have. But oftentimes, for some reason, when you and I get on, it's crappy, and I don't, you know, I've speculated maybe it's something between here and there. I can't explain it. But I went to Amazon to order like a 25-foot or 20-foot, whatever, cable, and I was told I could get it at the end of April. I said, well, you know, it's not an emergency, but okay, fine. And I was thinking, you know, who knows? I know Best Buy is doing a curbside thing. I could, you know, if I had to, I could go get it locally. So I saw something online about this, and I tested it, and someone had basically said, look, if you need something at Amazon and they're telling you you're not going to get it for a month,
I know where you're
if it's something that Amazon sells through Amazon Basics, order it from there instead, and you'll get it in 2 days. So I looked, and sure enough, and I don't know what it looks like today. This was a few weeks ago, but for Ethernet cables, if they had it in stock, you could get it like 2 days, you know, a day or two, whatever. That's crappy, by the way. So I did not change my order. I just said, you know what, screw it. I don't, you know, it's okay. But for some reason it arrived, not yesterday, it must have been the day before, in the afternoon. So it's just dangling on the floor. I just threw it in, and only to my computer. I haven't tested Xbox yet, but yeah, I meant to mention it yesterday because we did the show, and I think yesterday was fine.
Yep, I think so too.
And then you mentioned it now. So yeah, it seems fine. Like it seems normal. Like this is how it should always be.
Yeah. So maybe if you got out that drill bit and ran the wire, what you've been talking about for, I don't know, months. I think even before I started my basement, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, no need to rush into it, right? You don't want to.
Well, I don't know. It seems I'm a bit of a procrastinator.
2020 goals, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to research this again because it's been a while since I looked at it. I had a friend who lent me a bunch of stuff, tools and parts and things. But I know there's more, and I need to figure out what I need, and then either order it on Amazon or maybe go to a Home Depot type place or something. I'm sure that's part of it. So I've already described all this work, and it's like, You know? Like just saying it is tiring me out.
All right, folks. So that wraps it up. Paul's clearly needing a nap after talking about drilling one hole and running one wire. Hopefully you have a good weekend, and we'll catch all of you right back here next time.
I mean,
Eventually,
I want to do it.
Apologize to all the Star Wars fans out there who know the lore much better than I do, which is like,
I make fun of people who are into like Marvel comic movies and stuff. I think those people are ridiculous. I think those movies are stupid. But if you really think about it, I mean, isn't Star Wars exactly the same thing?
Yep. Just slightly different genre.
Yeah. Slightly. It's very slightly.
Well, I mean, it's both like sci-fi, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still think they're ridiculous, but Yeah.
All right. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to go cut the grass after I get this video posted.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
Bye.